You're listening to Wiscoholics with Jimmy Christensen.
Hey man, I look at the internet.
Todd Varney.
For as not confident as I am, I'm not unconfident either.
And your host, Erin Alice.
Imagine meeting the love of your life and then finding out that he debates Brady versus Rogers with strangers on Twitter.
These are the Wiscoholics. Drink up.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Wiscoholics, the show that nobody asked for, where we talk Wisconsin sports and then some. I am your host, Erin Alice, and with me, as always, are Jimmy Christensen and Todd Varney. Jimmy, how are you feeling? How's your leg?
It's good. I got 35 milliliters of blood and fluid drained out of it today, so
gross.
Pretty much spring chicken at this point.
You okay, Todd?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm really good at talking about bodily fluids and things like that, so it's fine. Honestly,
Great.
Ever since I blew my knee out in high school, like I can't watch bad injuries. Like blood makes me queasy all of a sudden. It's weird. I don't know.
I offered to send you my video, but you turned it down like a real jerk.
Yep. Yeah, I don't care about you.
Then you should be able to watch me get hurt.
No,
the truth is, you secretly love me, and you don't want to see me roll around on the ground.
As I just said,
Phrasing.
I can't watch that stuff. It doesn't matter who it is. Anyways, where do we start, guys?
Yeah. Let's start off with where do we start? So we're gonna talk about some news that's going around in the Wisconsin sports world. Number one, we have a team in Wisconsin that's actually doing good things. That's wonderful to hear. The Badgers men's hockey team won the Big Ten regular season title, and the women's hockey team won the WCHA regular season title as well. So Wisconsin is a hockey state, despite them not having a professional team.
I said it last week. Wisconsin is a hockey school now. That's what they do. So we're back. Wisconsin hockey officially back. Women's hockey has never went anywhere. It's always been a women's hockey school. Those girls are fantastic year in and year out. But the guys, they're back.
That's right.
The basketball team, though, they're out, right? So
we don't
replace basketball with hockey.
We're not going to talk about that.
They don't exist. It's not a thing.
Yeah.
They dropped off the 25. They no longer matter.
Right,
they tried to win. They tried to win last weekend, but then they didn't.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a weird hooking call that they called on the an offensive penalty?
Yeah, Brad Davison likes to do this thing where instead of trying to go make the effort and make the play, he tries to make the effort, draw the contact, and get the foul called instead. And it was I think it was an iffy hook and hold call, but at the same time, if he would have just tried to make the play, he probably would have made the play.
That's how that happens a lot in the NBA. Also, just you go for the flop and not the basket. But moving on, so yay for Badgers hockey, doing great.
I'm gonna buy a shirt now.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll just get matching shirts and so let's head on to the Packers. It's been kind of a busy week for the Packers. Most notable was they decided not to place the franchise tag on Aaron Jones, so he could become a free agent next week, unless they come to a deal before then. But I mean, I think it's looking like that's probably not going to happen, that he's headed to free agency. So,
are you surprised by that, Todd?
No, I think we've all kind of known this is what was going to happen. We all had that little spot inside our heart that we went, well, maybe, but I didn't think they would franchise tag him. And I definitely don't think they'll get a deal done with him once he hits the market. They've been talking all year about getting something done, and they can't get there. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. And what's been interesting is they want to, that they've been in talks with him and consistently for months and months now. And, I'm a little surprised given the whole, maybe you shouldn't pay running backs, that they've been trying to give him kind of a lot of money, when he hasn't played a lot, he's been injured. I'm a little surprised at what they're, we're wanting to get him for, but unfortunately it's a rough year.
I don't think there's a chance. They offered him 9.5. We're still above the salary cap right now. We have to make some moves by next week. I just don't see a possibility of keeping Aaron Jones on a contract. Clearly he wants over 10 plus. He wants close to, from what report said, he wants close to the Dalvin Cook, around 13 to 15 million a year. There's just no chance the Packers can do that. Even if we cut Preston, restructure Zadarius, restructure Rodgers, extend Adams, like that's still not going to leave enough to be able to sign Aaron Jones and make other moves to get us to the Super Bowl. Because re-signing Jones doesn't put us over the hump. It puts us exactly where we were last year the last 2 years of an NFC championship game. Like other moves need to be made to get us into the Super Bowl. Jones is valuable, but I think bringing him back to that contract is just a stagnant move. We just stay exactly where we are.
Agreed. And speaking of which, the salary cap was officially determined that next year it's going to be 182.5 million, I believe.
Yep.
For this season. And the Packers also had a rollover of 4 million, maybe in change, but so they've got roughly 186.5 million, which is lower on some of the people that have had it, but or like what they have, but it is what it is. So we'll just
yeah.
I don't envy Russ Ball.
So this is just a random question. Who do you think has a better chance of being on the team next year between Preston Smith and Aaron Jones? We'd have to go with Preston since he's currently on the team, right?
Yeah, I think Preston. And as we said, I think last week, I was actually surprised that Goop made a statement on it instead of staying neutral, which he normally does. He said he expects him to be back. And sure, that is coaches speak. Like you don't want to say we're going to, cut him, but he easily could have said, I don't want to, discuss any decisions that could be in the process of making. But he straight up said, I expect him to be on the team. So we'll see. Speaking of also the kind of restructuring, Devin Funchess, who opted out last season, took a pay cut of about $750,000 so he could remain on the team this season. So it looks like he's gonna not be a cap casualty as I was expecting, and I think a lot of people were.
So do you guys think that with him re-signing, I mean, it's a good free agent class for wide receivers, and it's a great draft class for wide receivers. Do you think this keeps the Packers out of either of those?
Free agency. I mean, it's tough because I don't know what people are asking. And with this climate, I don't know what to expect people to ask, but, I would say more so free agency, definitely not draft. I think they're still going to draft at least one. I would guess two at least, because MVS's contract is up after next year. So is EQ if he even makes the team. And my guess is they'll retain Lazard, but his contract is going to be, I guess it'd be another 1-year contract, and they're just going to hope that they hit on a couple guys in the draft.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely be looking, because Devin Funchess doesn't really bring something to the wide receiver core that they don't already have. What we're kind of missing is that like agile slot receiver, and Funchess is a big bodied. He's not fast. He runs clean routes, but you're not gonna put him on the inside and have him run his route. So I think they're still being the market. I think free agency will be a little bit tough with the money, but I think definitely early in the draft, they'll be looking for someone to kind of fill that slot role. Unless they want to put Adams there more next year, because Cousin Adams did pretty well in the slot, but you can put that man literally anywhere on the field and he's a threat.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think they'll continue to just put him all over and just mess with guys. So. And the other news, again, there's been a lot of news this week, is the Packers got 3 comp picks officially announced, which was expected to get 4th, 5th, and 6th round picks. And that was kind of no surprise to anybody. I'm still a little, I think the 5th round pick was Balaga, which was a little disappointing, but
yeah,
I would have expected him to get be more of a 4th round pick, but yeah, so they'll at least get a few extra picks, a little more help in the draft. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah, more picks for Goody to trade. That's what I love about him, is we're always in for a day one draft trade. So, well, at least we have been the last few years. He was a GM, so maybe he'll continue his streak and make it a 4 for 4.
Yeah. Is there anyone that you guys want him to trade up for in the draft?
Trevor Lawrence.
Shut the fuck.
Todd.
You can't even be mad if they do.
I root for chaos. Like, I'm sorry. Packers Twitter would absolutely melt. It would be incredible. How much tequila do you think Rodgers would drink that night?
He'd retire and become the permanent host of Jeopardy. That's how I think he'd handle it.
He might do that anyways.
Like, yeah. Honestly.
Hey. Yeah. That would go over well. Twitter I would cancel my Twitter account. I'd be like, I'm done. That's enough of that.
I'm retired.
Yes, I'll retire as well. All right. So that was where do we start? And next is on to our favorite segment, Teach Jimmy Baseball. We got audio. We're really stepping up the production value this week.
We're gonna have to
Todd,
raise if you keep this up, Erin. Jimmy, I know we kind of talked about the designated hitter last week.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what that is at all?
A person whose sole job is to just hit dingers into that home run part of the field.
That's actually correct. Surprisingly, you knew that. Well, let's move on. Jimmy got it. No, so in the National League, the pitchers hit for themselves. In the American League, the pitchers don't hit, and they have a designated hitter for them, which is a great spot for dudes who can't play defense to go. Where in the National League, like you asked me earlier about Barry Bonds, he was a left fielder. You kind of hide guys in left field that don't play great defense but can hit. In the National League, where in the American League, you just let them go.
So if you suck on defense, you go to left field?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, well, those guys suck. I'm not going to be fans
of
those
it was
players
right
anymore.
Field.
That's when you're a little kid. That's when you're a little kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what I think is really going to irritate you with this, Jimmy, is that it's only in one league. Like, there's not another league that has separate rules. Like, could you imagine if the AFC had 12 offensive players, but not in the NFC?
It's the same. Yeah, the same league, and just one side can just have a Barry. I know Barry Bonds wasn't, but they could just have a Barry Bonds sole thing to just juice to the tits and hit home runs. And
you can't juice. You're not allowed to juice.
They can't use steroids.
Yeah,
Jimmy. They can't do that.
Quote unquote can't use steroid. Yeah, wink, wink. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes no sense. How? And this has been for like a long time.
Oh yeah, this has been so. Last year, the 60-game season, they implemented the DH in both leagues. There was talk of it. It still might be this year. They haven't officially said no. Well, they've said no, but also we're like, well, maybe. So likely it's not going to happen, but the CBA is up after this year, and their thing, it'll most likely end up in both leagues after this. It's something that baseball purists and traditionalists absolutely hate the idea, because having the hitter or having the pitcher hit brings a whole different level of strategy to the game of when are you going to, bring in a new pitcher from the bullpen, pinch hitting for the pitcher. Then at that point, when they come around, like there's a ton of strategy that comes into play there. We're in the American League. They're just like, fuck it, put a new pitcher in there. We don't care. Because it doesn't affect the batting lineup at all. But at the same time, over the last, handful of years, I mean, just with the Brewers, they've had a number of pitchers get hurt hitting or running the bases. You've seen it all over the league.
It's part of baseball. How can't you run without getting hurt?
It's pretty incredible how unathletic.
Okay, how did you injure your knee, Jimmy?
MMA practice. Someone took me down and I folded over him.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, I was doing something cool at least.
I thought maybe it was like what's his face from the Lions that tore his ACL celebrating the belt after he sacked Rodgers.
Oh man, I wish.
And then Rodgers, of course, ended up lighting them on fire after that. So
you would think at some point teams would stop doing that.
No, let them keep doing it.
If you're on defense,
it happened this year, and it was
yeah. If you're on defense and you put on the belt, you better be up by 30 with less than 5 minutes left.
Yeah, it's a death sentence. Yeah, it's a death sentence.
So back to this though. Quick question.
Yeah.
It's NL National League, right?
Yep. Yep.
Do the National League owners just like really love the idea of having a pitcher hit, or do they want the designated hitter, or is it just kind of like split?
It's to the point now where kind of everybody, the players union, most owners, like everybody's just on board with the DH. It took me a long time to come around to, because like I said, I like the strategy involved, but to add that extra element, add more offense to the game, more excitement. I mean, pitchers traditionally aren't great at hitting. So, which I always find weird. Like, usually if you're a pitcher, you were a good athlete in school. Like you were typically one of the better players on your team coming up, but then they just, at some point in their development, they stop hitting. And so then they try to pick it back up, and it can be hilarious. Or when a pitcher goes to the American League for a while and then tries to transition back over, and they're like, oh, you haven't swung a bat in 10 years. Good news. You're in the hole, man. Get in there.
Who's the best hitting pitcher?
CC had a couple dingers.
Because he's so fat.
Well, yeah, he could get into it. Carlos Zambrano, he was pretty solid. Brandon Woodruff for the Brewers, he hit a dinger off of Clayton Kershaw in the NLDS a few years ago. That was pretty exciting.
Tell him to suck it afterwards.
No, he was too amped for that.
That doesn't make sense.
That's also one of those, like, you don't want to piss a guy like that off. Like, you just
right.
So that's the best hitting pitcher. Who's the best hitting DH?
Of all time?
Or right now? It's Big Papi, obviously, of all time. He has a nickname, Big Papi.
No.
You were obsessed with him, Jimmy.
It's like one of the only players I know.
Yeah,
so I can't name anybody else.
He only knows 5 players.
The second player I was going to say was Barry Bonds. You guys already told me he's not a DH. Mark McGwire, DH?
First base.
He also didn't he also
National League.
juice?
Played in the
Didn't he
National
also
League.
Juice?
Yeah, that's why.
Allegedly.
They should all be able to allegedly juice. Imagine how much more fun baseball would be if everyone could just take a little bit of steroids. Just regulate how much they can take.
Like, I like our idea last week of making one person able to juice. Just one guy on your team.
Yeah, one guy walk out like Stone Cold Steve Austin, bald, acne, just
right.
Jerseys ripping because they're so jacked. I'd watch baseball then for sure. Imagine the fights during that.
I'd be impressed.
Clear the benches, no one would touch him.
Yeah, I don't know. Hit that guy with the ball. Roid Rage will take over instantly.
All right, well, moving on.
But that is a super dumb rule, and they should have it through everybody.
Yeah,
or the NFL should just say the Packers can have 14 players.
Yeah,
on defense. Our offense is fine.
Just the Packers. Yeah,
we need them on defense. Yeah.
All right, moving on to our next segment.
That'd just be more tackles that the opponents can break.
Yeah, they break records that way. More interceptions for Will Bradman to drop.
Getting PTSD.
Yeah, too soon, guys. Too soon.
So our next segment is called This Week in Wisconsin History. And on March 8th, 1947, the Wisconsin men's basketball team defeated Purdue 72-60. So yay, we just were dragging Wisconsin. This is probably the last time they actually won something.
That's not true.
They defeated Purdue 72-60 at an Evanston High School gym to win the Big Ten Conference Basketball Championship. This is almost my take on your guys' good news, bad news segment, because that's the good news. The bad news here, when I read this, I was like, oh, okay. The game was a continuation of one commenced on February 24th at Purdue. The game was postponed when the stands collapsed, killing 3 spectators and injuring close to 200. Like, I was like shocked when I read that. I was like, oh, that's a really uplifting story.
Hey, but don't worry, we won a championship.
So, yeah, the Wisconsin won, so who cares, right? Doesn't matter.
They died for a good cause. Too far. Just kidding. R.I.P. Sorry, I take that.
Yeah. So it's that was This Week in Wisconsin History. That's what's going on.
What a fucking bleak one.
I told you, it was really the only thing that good that actually, well, I say good loosely, but that like a good news story that happened this past week in Wisconsin. Everything else was like Civil War related, and that wasn't uplifting.
Did you guys know that in 1993, Camp Randall, a section of the stands collapsed at Camp Randall and injured 69 people?
No way. I didn't know that. No.
Yeah. Nobody died, but there were many people crushed or trampled. Ooh, it uses the word melee. What an article.
What an article.
I'm glad you Googled that.
When was that?
Yeah, I was about to say, when did that happen?
October of 93.
Oh, I was 3 years old, so.
I was fresh out the womb. I was hoping you would say
Oh,
June.
wow.
I was going to say it's because I was born and the world was just spun into chaos.
Couldn't handle Jimmy.
Yeah. They're like, you might as well just end it now.
The world is off its axis the
Yeah.
second you entered this world.
Yeah.
Just tilted. So that was this week in Wisconsin history.
That's dark.
Very uplifting.
Yeah. Honestly, we might want to take a break, collect our thoughts, come back.
Have a cigarette.
Yeah.
Relax.
I gotta call my grandma and just tell her about it.
I'm sorry, guys. Let's move on to our offensive and defensive players of the week. How does that sound?
That works for me. Todd, did
Okay.
any of your players die or we good?
No, all still alive. All
Okay.
still alive.
Yeah. Let's roll on to that.
No
Oh, God.
tragedies to speak of. Actually, I'll start it up.
Mhm.
My offensive player of the week, Avisal Garcia for the Brewers, is murdering the baseball. In
Oh
spring,
my
I know
God.
it's just spring training. I hate people that always say, "Well, it's only spring." He's batting
Well, it's not
500.
spring.
Yeah,
Because-
it's not. It's winter. Come on.
Yeah.
Not in Arizona, guys. Spring is full effect on there. He's batting 500 with 2 home runs through his first 14 at bats. Small sample size, spring training pitching, but I'm here for a hot start from Avi Garcia after kind of a down year last year.
When we next week, can you please teach me batting percentage?
Yep.
Like
Yeah,
what's
we'll
good
do
and what's bad?
We'll break down some stats for you.
Okay, because you're saying 500, and to me that's like you're hitting 50-50. But maybe
Yeah,
that's
like
good for baseball?
imagine like hitting 50-50 on your free throws. Like that's like Shaq numbers. That's
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Hey, Jimmy, you want to know something fun? 300 will get you into the Hall of Fame.
300?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you get a hit 3 out of 10 times, you'll likely make the Hall.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, it's up there. You've got to do some other things with it.
yeah,
but
like you
it's gotta
can't
be
just
it's
bat-
got to be a
you
pretty
can't
sustained
you can't
career.
Just hit
But that's like
hit.
that's a good batting average, 300?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, to be continued next week. I am
Most
intrigued.
players have something in the like 200s or like high 100s.
Oh, I'm gonna start training
Yeah.
Hadley now.
Real-
Be the first
real
female
bad
in
if you're
MLB.
Real bad
Right.
if you're
Yeah,
on high
that's like the
windows.
worst. Yeah, like usually it's bad if you're like 197 or something. But yeah,
What does a
usually
pitcher hit?
Like
an
an
average pitcher.
197.
197.
Ah, what a dumb idiot. All right.
All right, Jimmy, who's your offensive player of the week?
I'm gonna go with keep continuing on this murderous trend. Giannis is slaughtering defense.
I have
Well,
so much regret.
What at least is there in the All-Star game defense. But we finally have an All-Star game MVP. He was 100% shooting, and he even hit some threes, which God knows how he did that. So
Step
Giannis-
back in the corner, knocked it down.
Yeah,
Yep.
I know. The man was
I didn't watch the game. I read a tweet that said, "Yeah, it's just a step back three in the corner."
I was like, oh,
highlight of the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, he killed in that All-Star game, held up that trophy at the end and said this is for Milwaukee. So hopefully
That's your trophy, Jimmy. That's for you.
yeah. Hopefully
Yeah.
Jimmy's the MVP of the NBA All-Star game.
yeah, he is. Yep.
this is Milwaukee. Hopefully he can start doing some of that shit during the regular season game and start torturing defenses.
Yeah. That'd be nice if they could turn it up a notch for the as they're about to start the second half of the season next week. So
Hell yeah.
push it into high gear. So my offensive player of the week is Daryl Watts, who is a forward for the women's Badgers hockey team. And as we said earlier, they won the WCHA regular season title. And Daryl was named the WCHA Forward of the Year and Player of the Year. So she just ran away with it. And yeah, that's fucking awesome. So shout out to her, Offensive Player of the Week. She had, I think, 31 points in the season with 15 goals, 16 assists, which that was the most points or the second most points in the league, the entire NCAA. So that was pretty sweet. So she's killing it.
Oh, yeah.
No pun
Nice.
intended.
Yeah.
Nice. Got it in there.
That
I
was
was like, where's the homicide reference? Let's go.
It was an accident. All right.
No, that's
Defensive player of the
solid.
week. Jimmy, you start.
I'm gonna go with Zadarius Smith. After all the news of the cap and everything came out, sorry, Todd threw up a really ugly Z. After all the cap news and everything came out, he tweeted, "I want to be a Packer for life." And there's rumors about him, or not even rumors, speculation about him possibly getting extended, which will free up some cap space for the Packers and keep him in the green and gold jersey for long term, and help him dismantle and dismember quarterbacks. So hopefully we can keep him in the green and gold. And what a great way to get under their salary cap, keeping Zadarius here for longer than he already is right now. I think that would finally put Packers Twitter in a good mood for the first time in its existence. So hope that happens.
Yeah.
I doubt it. They'd still complain.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
would. Sure.
Yeah.
About
There's
something.
just no. Yeah. There's
I
always
mean,
something.
well, think about if they wouldn't have to extend him if they had TJ Watt.
Right. Yeah.
They would just have to sign TJ Watt for the season.
Or if they drafted 10 wide receivers last year.
Yeah.
You'd figure at least one of them could rush quarterback.
Yeah. One of the ones that got too fat or something can just switch over to defense.
Perfect.
Done.
That's where EQ is going to be next year. You talked about him possibly not making the team. He'll be over there on defense next year.
He'll be a corner.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the hands for it.
Gosh.
Fucking Todd. All right, Todd, who's your defensive player of the week?
I'm going to go once again, surprise, surprise, with the Brewers signing Jackie Bradley Jr. Over the weekend. Coming over from Boston, a Gold Glove outfielder. So the Brewers now have 3, count them, Jimmy, 3 Gold Glove outfielders.
That means a lot to me. So
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
I knew you'd be in on that.
Biggest baseball fan right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So looking forward to him coming over and playing some defense. Also playing some offense, but his defense is pretty exciting.
Cool.
I'm thrilled just thinking about it.
Yep.
We're
all excited over here.
Yeah,
I can see it.
like this. That's my excited face.
All right, my defensive player of the week, I'm getting all sappy, is my mom, because tomorrow is actually World Kidney Day and March is actually National Kidney Month. And next week, my amazing mother is donating a kidney, which is really, really exciting because
Snaps.
she just not to someone that we know that needs one. She just woke up one day and decided that was something that she just wanted to save someone's life. And it's amazing. She's actually a part of a swap of, I think, 20 people. So
Shit.
yeah. So
that's incredible that she woke up and was like, I'm going to say, I wake up and I'm like,
whose life can I ruin today?
Maybe I'll have cereal. Maybe I'll have a Nutri-Grain bar.
Mhm.
An hour and a half later, I still haven't figured out either of those. So
yeah,
that's good. Good for her.
Yeah, I'm very excited, and I'm hoping Packers Twitter and whatever can send me some good vibes. So hopefully the surgery goes well. So she'll be doing that next week. Yeah, it's been a really long process. She's been prepping for it for, I think she started testing back in April, May. So it's been in the works for quite a while. So it's
Holy shit.
Yeah, actually longer than that. I think it was November.
What
when
a
she
hero.
first started her testing. I know, my mom's pretty
What a
amazing.
hero.
So yes.
While I was busy bitching about coronavirus and sitting in the house, your mom was prepping for a fucking makes me feel like an asshole.
Well, you kind of are. So
I know. I'm complaining I can't go next door and get donuts. Here your mom is offering kidneys to people.
She's gonna go have unnecessary surgery to donate a kidney. Yep. So kudos to my mom. So
yeah. I'm gonna kiss her right on the mouth if I ever meet her.
Okay, that is.
Well, you're vaccinated now, so
Yeah.
Open mouth kisses are back.
Yeah, baby.
Erin's mom's getting the first one.
Oh God. I hate you guys. All right. Moving on to good news, bad news, which the bad news is Jimmy's going to kiss my mom on the mouth.
You asked her afterwards.
Let's go with bad news first.
All right. This one is me. And I think you guys are going to be a little tricked on what I think the bad news of this is. So I'm not going to laugh because this is a real fucked up situation. But
He says as he's laughing.
But the reason he did it made me like chuckle. Like, come on. A 6-year-old boy was kicked off of a school bus and not allowed on again after pulling a knife on some people on the bus because they wouldn't let him see their Pokemon cards. And so obviously your reaction is to pull the knife.
I think that's justified.
Yeah, and I'm not even upset. Obviously, dude, don't pull out a knife. Come on. We all know. But the problem is Pokemon is still ruining lives of children now. They messed me up and made me spend all my money on Pokemon cards that I don't even know where they are anymore. And look, they're still torturing children nowadays and making kids pull knives on each other.
Right.
Pokemon.
Yeah. I just watched like a BuzzFeed video and this woman was like going through all of her Pokemon cards and they said it was worth like $20,000.
I got to find my Pokemon cards.
Yeah. I have a Beanie Baby that has a value of like $20,000.
Really? Where do you keep it and how can I find it?
It's somewhere in storage. I don't even know where it is. It's somewhere. But yeah,
I
got rid of all of them. But like I had a bunch of them when I was a kid and I was going through them when my parents moved. They moved from my home, the house I grew up in. And I went through all of them and I Googled their value. I was like, are any of these worth keeping? And then I found one that had like, it has like a typo in the tag. So it's like worth a bunch of money. Yeah. So yeah.
Todd, would you stab someone over Pokemon cards? Or what, better question, what would you stab someone over?
Like nothing. He'd just do it for fun.
Yeah. You're like, someone waved at me, didn't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Legally, I don't think I can have this conversation right now. Let me check with my lawyer. No, I don't think my mom can hear me right now. And I'm not telling her about this episode, so it's fine. I almost stabbed her one time because she was having a garage sale and I had told her to sell all of my sports cards, except I had like just a tote of them, except for the big gray binder on top. That was all my Packers cards. And I've got like limited edition. I've got complete sets. I've got signed one. Like it was a huge 3-ring binder. And so she called me and she was like, hey, I sold your cards. And I was like, oh, cool. All of them? And she was like, yeah, I sold all of them. I was like, except for the gray binder, right? And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, no, you're messing with me. You didn't sell the green binder, right? And she's like, no, I sold that one too. I sold all of them. And
Oh my God.
was so mad. And like, I was like, it's not your fault. I should have came home and made sure that it was taken care of and that I had those pulled out of there. That it's on me. I'm not, but But luckily she was able to buy that booklet back from the person that bought it. So,
that's
I still have
nice,
them.
Mom.
I don't know that I've looked at it since. So it was.
Good. Good. I'm glad your mom went through that.
It brings you too much rage to even just think about that. Those murderous thoughts come back.
I know
that's the theme of this episode is apparently murder.
Every once in a while, I know where it's at. Every once in a while, I just like open the door, take a peek. Like, all right, it's still on the shelf. We're good. I
wish he just fucked with you and just bought a gray binder. There's no cards.
And he still hasn't figured it out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we have to hurry up and finish recording this so I can go check. Just straight panicking now.
Honestly, I'd be the biggest fan of your mom if she did that. I'd cry.
No, that would be such
that
a
would be
stone
incredible.
cold move. I'd love
She's like, I know Todd enough. He won't actually open this. Let's just buy him the binder.
Until one of us dies, he won't figure it out.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. So give me the good news then, Todd.
The good news, we kind of mentioned it earlier. The weather's nice. It's leading to a lot of outdoor activities, including a man in Madison who was spotted naked climbing fences through backyards. 40-year-old man late Friday night was allegedly seen climbing over fences and walking around people's backyards, all while naked. The suspect was spotted around 11 o'clock. And when the officers caught up with him, he reportedly told them he was just out for some fresh air.
Yeah.
Just taking a walk to get some fresh air naked. So good news. It's nice enough to be outside naked.
Awesome. Fresh air. That's what we all need. Some fresh air everywhere.
Yeah.
I could see if it was
Good for
daytime.
him.
You got to get, if he was out there, getting some
Tanning.
vitamin D on his beehole. That's important.
What is
And not only that, walking different yards and climbing fences, making sure everybody is aware of your glorious tan.
Yeah, he wanted to get some fresh air, and he was a risk taker because climbing fences naked, you were asking for trouble.
Well, they took him to the hospital for evaluation.
I think of like a wire fence, one wire fence.
Yeah,
those things are like sharp on the top. Or imagine if it's a wood fence, you get splinters.
My pee-pee's hurting to think about it.
Oh man,
none for me.
Chlamydia test.
Well, that was good news.
You guys, it's like my pee hole's really hurting right now. Do you guys? So the UFC fighter, Derek Lewis. Do you know who that is?
No.
So after he won a fight, he was in the middle of a post-fight interview, like in the octagon, and just took his pants off and just was in his compression shorts. And Joe Rogan's like, "So why are your pants off?" And all he goes is, "My balls were hot." And I really wish that's what the guy said to the police officer.
My balls were hot.
Naked. My balls are hot.
Yeah, the guy was booked on counts of lewd and lascivious behavior and surprise, probation violation.
Whoa. You telling me that was not an upstanding citizen?
Yeah, not my first time, officer.
Yeah, I want a list of his priors. I'm very curious.
I hope they all are just different ways of him being naked in public.
Naked on an escalator, naked, wherever.
He should be booked on Naked and Afraid, and I guarantee he'll win.
It's just a normal state of being for him.
Yeah, he's like, you guys are getting paid for this? I do this shit for fun.
This is how getting some fresh air. How do you get fresh air, officer?
You're telling me you don't ever patrol the streets naked, sir?
Come on. It's the only way.
You know what? It's speaking of fresh air, as this is like the perfect transition into our love-hate segment. Because the weather has been so nice lately. I thought we could talk about outdoor activities as a kid that we used to play, like do or play or participate in. So I'm going to give you an activity and we're all going to talk if we love or we hate it. So number 1, the iconic summer activity, slip and slide.
I'm going to go love, but my confession to this is I've never did a slip and slide until I was like almost out of college and we did like the slip and slide into beer pong or not beer pong, flip cup. So that's the only time I've ever done a slip and slide. It's only been like twice. And every time I did it, I thought, why did I not do this as a child?
Yeah. Well, probably because you weren't drinking as a child, but yeah.
Speak for yourself, Erin. No, I love the slip and slide, a little bit of danger, a little bit of, need for speed. I like it.
Yeah, I agree. I actually did a similar thing. We always had a 4th of July party at my parents' house, and they have an in-ground pool. So we had hooked up the slip and slide. You do flip cup, then you go down the slip and slide and like fly into the pool. It was so much fun.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It was a blast. Yeah.
I'm gonna go Todd. Love, because how can you hate the slip and slide?
Unless there's a rock.
Correct. Yeah. Sorry, I misspoke. Or if it's more of just if it's not wet enough, that's always terrible. We had one set up.
Phrasing.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah. I saw your face and I was like, shit. No, we had one at a country music festival that I was at, and the thing that we failed to remember was like, you're just out in a hayfield. There's not enough water, so we just had like 100 feet of plastic rolled down the hill. We did get a guy with a water truck to come by for a little bit, little dish soap, little water. Got a couple passes on it. Did not go as cool as we thought it would be.
See, we did that for softball. We had a tarp because there were, oh God, I was probably in middle school where people didn't know how to slide. And so to teach us how to slide, we did a tarp with dish soap and water, and it was a blast. It was great.
Sounds like a good time.
Can hear the enthusiasm in your voice.
Please tell me more about your junior high softball practice.
Yeah, sure. I will.
I was kidding. Move on to the next topic, please.
All right. Next one is public pool. Love or hate?
Todd, please go. I just want to hear your story.
Yeah, Todd apparently has a story. I will just start and say that I hate it. I was lucky enough that my parents did have an in-ground pool growing up, and it was a pretty big pool, so it was a lot of fun. So I rarely got to interact with the public pool because it was always chlorine, and there was, my eyes would leave and they would just be burning from all the chlorine to kill all the bacteria.
The public pool is the grossest place on earth. I love it. For the record, I love it. Find me one. I'm still getting in it today.
Even with COVID?
The chlorine will kill COVID. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, that's what we get injected in us.
Yeah, it's called science. Do your research, Erin.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
When I was a little kid, I went to the pool here in my hometown, and I got there and I was excited to just swim, play some tag, hit the diving board, and I got into the locker room and was changing and remembered I let my older sister paint my toenails the night before with red, white, and blue stripes.
Yeah.
So here's like 7-year-old Todd at the pool, and I got there right at break. So I had to sit outside of the pool, like with a towel over my feet. It's like, this is casual. This is how I sit. What of it? Whistle blew so we get back in. I jumped in the pool. I did not get out of the pool until it was 5 o'clock and time to go home.
Wow.
Yeah. Traumatized as a child.
Oh, I like your sister. She sounds hilarious.
If it makes you feel better, my toes are purple right now. Rocking the purple.
They painted or like?
Oh yeah, no,
you
painted.
Have
purple.
circulation.
Yeah, no, they're painted purple. Yeah.
I was like, we need to call someone.
Yeah. Jimmy, are you okay?
Well, that's the thing. Like now, I would own it. Like I don't care, but like a 7-year-old kid at the pool, like you don't know how to handle that.
Yeah.
You put a towel over your feet. Yeah, you just put a towel over your feet and that casual.
I'm saying you handled it as best you could.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with. I loved it as a kid. We went to a pool by our house like at least 4 times a week in the summer. It was our little family outing. I absolutely loved it. And I didn't have any brothers, so that was my time to be real creep and try to talk to other people and make friends. Didn't really happen, surprisingly, because I'm incredibly awkward. But that was my time.
I'd love to see you just randomly in public trying to talk to people.
Hey guys, you want to? No, I was a fucking dork too. It's when that
you just still are. So
I know.
Yeah.
It's when those shark goggles came out. So I had a fin too. I was like, oh, all you motherfuckers are gonna think of sharks in the pool, idiots.
I just see you. How long can you hold your breath underwater? I can do 47 seconds. Watch.
You guys want to see me do a handstand in the water? One hand. I wish I was making this up, but I definitely did that.
Oh my god!
Oh.
I'm glad I didn't know you as a kid.
I would have been.
I would have been pushing a few lockers.
So did either of you have like a Sandlot moment, a Wendy Peppercorn moment? Any crush on the lifeguard?
Yeah. I don't want to talk about it legally.
Oh, okay.
Dear God.
All righty. Well, then we'll move on. So next, another Sandlot activity, because that's like the quintessential summer, right? Activities. Yeah. The county fair.
I love them. Well, in Milwaukee, we have the state fair here. so we don't really have like a county fair.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
yeah,
same
but
thing.
the state fair is amazing. But then I went up to in Black River Falls in Wisconsin and went to their county fair once. County fairs are pretty cool too. Lots of animals. Watched pigs for the first time in my life. People trying to like get those things in. They have boards for some reason that they keep swatting the pigs with. I don't know. I was interested. I love county fairs. A lot of hillbillies.
Yeah.
I do not fit in, but I like it.
Yeah, I'm probably neutral on this just because like I get motion sickness, so I didn't really do any rides or anything, but I love playing the games and I just love being like there's like a smell of a county fair or like it's funnel cakes and beer.
BO and
Yeah.
BO.
And then manure, but like
carny
there's-
smell.
yeah, carnies, exactly.
People
And
missing
I feel like
beer.
there is a distinct smell, and I feel like if I ever go to one, I'm like, yep, that's it. That's the county fair smell. So I'm probably neutral. It's fun, but not if you can't go on
I
any of the
love
rides.
it. You guys hit all of it. The carny smells, the games, the rides, the hillbillies, the people watching. It's incredible across the board. Any county fair, take me, I'll go.
Yep, absolutely. Fun stuff.
Yeah.
All right. What about a trampoline? Love or hate?
Hate.
I also actually hate. I fell off of one once and now I'm like traumatized because I fell backwards and hit my head on the ground and it was scary. And
That
I take
explains a
back my
lot.
laugh.
shut up. Don't fuck yourself, Todd.
Why do you hate him, Todd? She at least has a reason.
Yeah.
She was a silly.
When I
goose
was
that
a
fell
kid,
off him.
I didn't have the ability. I couldn't break that mental barrier to do a flip on one. So
Mhm.
all I was doing was jumping, right? Like that's all right. Fucking cool. It's not cool. Everyone else up here doing a flip. I can't do a flip. My brain tells me I'm gonna get hurt. And I don't like them
And I
now.
did.
And I don't like them now because of my knee injury with the meniscus tear. The doctor told me, like, dude, never get on a trampoline again. If you know when you like short hop it and like buckles your legs, he's like,
Mhm.
if you do that, your knee is literally just gonna
Did he
implode.
literally say don't ever get on a trampoline? Like was that
Absolutely.
a specific conversation?
Being
As if
18
it's
years
normal
old
for
and the doctor's just like, oh, one more thing, never get on a trampoline again.
Okay.
Like,
Just
oh
wanted to
yeah.
make sure that
And at the time, I hadn't been on one since I was like an early teen. And it was like, you're an idiot. Now I'm 35 years old. I'm like, oh, I wish I could get on a trampoline, dude. That'd be awesome. But I hate them.
well, you know what? You should just like lay flat on a trampoline and let everybody like bounce around you,
Okay.
and then you
Yeah,
can like fly up in the air.
I've played popcorn since then, and it's not any fun. Like I don't.
So you just really shattered my hopes and dreams because when I was at the doctor today, they told me, which is good news, they don't think it's my ACL. The bad news, they said it's my meniscus. So I can't go on a
Oh
trampoline.
no!
Well, you
Ever
might be okay depending if they can just snip it. You could be good. Mine was such a big tear that they had to stitch it back together, and he was like, "That's never going to be the same." So deal with it. So
I'm trying to go the no surgery route. Just have it heal. Put some horse steroids in my knee. Come back like a stallion.
that's the stuff
And-
I got.
And
I
then
got
jump
some-
and then FaceTime Todd while you're jumping on a trampoline.
Yeah. Jealous
Hey.
motherfucker.
if they won't give you any, let me know. I got a guy.
Horse steroids?
Yeah,
What is it? Peptides or some shit like that?
I
I've
don't know
done my
what it is.
research.
just I've got a guy.
Anyways,
I love
So that-
trampolines. I'm going against you guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
I loved them. I used to think I was a WWE superstar and try to do a Jeff Hardy Swanton bomb all the time. So
you probably were that. I can imagine that nerdy kid at the pool also being a nerd about look at all the shit that I can do on a trampoline. I can
Yes.
totally see that.
hey guys, watch me do a flip off the diving board. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, like making your like mom come out there and watch every single stupid thing that you do on a trampoline. Yeah, I can see
Make her
that.
move. Just tell her to look. It's not like I was in the biggest pool. She could sit comfortably and still watch her son do incredible acrobat.
Mom, watch, Mom,
Yeah.
Mom, you're not watching. Mom, okay, Mom, watch. I'm
I'm
up
gonna
next.
miss it.
I'm up next.
Fuck you guys.
That's so accurate. All right. Well,
Jimmy, did
that
you
was
pee in the
love
public
hate.
pool?
Hell yeah, I peed in the public pool.
Fuck yeah, there we go.
No, who didn't? I mean, come on. Anyways,
Supposed
that
to,
was
Maureen.
love hate. That was a great one. But that is our show. So we are all done. And let's now, Jimmy, tell the folks where they can find you.
Follow me at on Twitter at Jimmy_C08. I'll post any article, any video, podcast, anything I do, I'll post there. I have some things in the work. The knee injury delayed some things a little bit, but have a camera coming in the mail, upgrading my equipment, and have some pretty cool things coming out. So follow on Twitter for all that stuff.
Awesome. Todd, what about you?
At the Todd V on Twitter. Follow me there for a lot of bad takes, mostly is my specialty. But
Except the
also
Lambo one.
That was a great one, I thought. Put it on your calendars now. Next Friday, March 19th, Lombardi's Bar is back.
Oh, I'm so
It's
happy you said that.
What?
I did not know that was the date.
Yeah.
You're literally on that show.
I know. I knew you were doing one. I didn't know it was next Friday.
Awesome.
Yep.
So look for that.
Oh, yes.
Awesome. And you can find me on Twitter at Heroin, HEROOINE. And I run the socials for Game On Wisconsin. So follow us there at Game On WI. And catch us here every Thursday. And thanks for listening. We will see you next week.